Okay, Tanner, I mean, maybe you could tell us, I mean, you mentioned that you had probably about 18 people or so that work for you.
Yep.
I mean, tell us about some of those people. I
Sure.
mean, yeah, I mean, just give us an understanding of what you're doing, how you're interacting with them. So why don't you tell us about that?
Absolutely. So the age ranges that of my associates go from the age of 19 to the age of 59 and everything in between. Typically what we see is that the people who have been here the longest, so your older generation of workers, they are very nose to the grindstone. They are moved from one place to the next, very well-rounded in the sense of being able to get a job done from point A to point B. Now, where potentially you see gaps of opportunities is where a lot of things are moving into the electronic area. A lot of computer things that you got to be able to with our computer system. You got to be able to do different fast pass within the keyboard, and it becomes a little bit more difficult for them. But what makes it a good mix is with the younger people, it's kind of the opposite. So they're very technology savvy. They're very good at thinking outside of the box in the sense of being able to figure out a problem and get it solved. But their drive isn't necessarily as up to somebody who has been in the industry as long as somebody who's a little bit older.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as various policies that you have on the floor, I mean, are people walking around with phones, headphones? I mean, is that a problem?
Yeah. So and back to the age gap, you see a lot of with our cell phone policies and things like that. You could have somebody walking around just with their face in their phone and not realize those surroundings around them. And you're working with power equipment. You're working with things that can be extremely dangerous. Knock on wood, we have not had a safety incident here. We only had one near miss last year. But that can make for, in the sense, a hostile environment because they're not keeping eyes on everything around them. And cell phone policies, they're not there to make you feel like you're in prison, so to speak. It's there to keep you safe. It's make sure that you go home with all 10 fingers and toes that you came with. The safety aspect of it is where a lot of those rules really come into play, so to speak. The big thing, and what really shoots out to me with the younger generation, for somebody who...
And how old are you?
I'm 29, so
okay.
I just recently went through it, and I compare it a lot to what I went through. Okay. And because it's not, you're talking about a 5-year difference here between whenever I was an order selector into the position that I am now. And the younger generation can really make the difference if they ask those questions and they're interested in getting involved into the operation as a whole. Whenever I stepped in as my first day at Zenith Logistics, I did not expect myself to be working my way up the chain of management. I was doing it for a quick buck. I was just trying to get some money saved up, get my own place, get a place for me, and at the time, my girlfriend, just make some quick money, so to speak. And and a lot of younger generation, it starts like that, but then they start seeing that it's their niche, and they see things that they like within the warehouse, distribution, logistics industry, and things that they excel in. And mine just happened to fall into place that I was really good at getting delegation put into the right spots to get jobs done. And that I was able to think more of the big picture instead of just necessarily seeing A to B. So for somebody who is, just coming out of high school, or somebody who's just coming out of college, and they get into the warehouse world, do what other people aren't going to do or don't want to do. Because in that sense, that's going to put you out there. That's going to be there's either when a supervisor knows your name, either it's a really good reason or you're doing something really bad and you want to stay on that right hand side. Definitely. And being able to stick your name or stick yourself out there, go the extra mile, complete things, be thorough with it, and follow up any chance that you can. I mean, that you'll see great accomplishments within this industry.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there are jobs out there that you can look on and find on some internet board where there's a job and you can apply for that job, but a lot of jobs are ones that oftentimes are ones where they are promoting from within, and oftentimes it is involving connections that you have with individuals that work for other companies. I mean, the impression that people have of you, your reputation is really everything. And like you said, I mean, if somebody knows you for a good reason, or if they know you, like you say, there's generally it's either something good is going on with you, or unfortunately not so good.
Yeah,
so,
right. The type of work also is something that I encourage younger people to think about. Supply chain never stops. Whenever the world shut down due to COVID, we kept going. We did not stop. We are here every single day. We continue to work. We had a job to do. Whenever I was back at Kroger, we weren't able to have Thanksgiving with my family. We weren't able to have Christmas, 4th of July, things like that, because as a grocery store, that is the highest, that is like the peak season for the grocery distribution. And those are things that you want to take into consideration with working at the type of warehouse that you're going to be working at, and the expectation of working at them. There's typically a very fine line with the attendance policies. You got to really be one that wants to get down and get dirty with this place, because it is something that requires you to spend a lot of time doing it, especially if you're wanting to move up.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good.
Yep.
Okay. Tanner, thank you.